Greystone, April 12th, 7:15 a.m. In the quiet heart of Greystone, where cobbled streets curl beneath walls draped in ivy and the wind through old oak trees is often the loudest sound of the day. A quiet act of kindness has been unfolding, one that has bound together two very different lives. For most of his 71 years, Harold Harrow had lived quietly in his weathered stone cottage at the edge of the village green. Mornings followed a rhythm, a steaming mug of Earl Grey on the front porch, the newspaper folded neatly on his lap, and the chorus of blackbirds in the hedgerows beyond. But on a brisk April morning, the ritual was interrupted. Above him, snagged in a frayed bit of garden netting beneath the eaves, was a bird so small and fragile it looked barely alive. A fledgling, no more than a few days out of the egg, shivered violently, its tiny chest rising in shallow, desperate breaths. Its nest was nowhere in sight. Harrow set down his tea without a word. His knees creaked as he climbed the short ladder, his hands firm but gentle as he freed the trembling creature from the strands that bound it. He could have placed it in the hedgerow and walked away. Many would have, but instead, he cupped it against the rough warmth of his palm and stepped inside. From the back of a wardrobe, he pulled an old shoebox. He lined it with a knitted scarf his late wife had made decades earlier. A milk bottle cap became a water dish, softened seeds, a meal. He placed the box beside the radiator in his bedroom, close enough to hear the faintest rustle of wings. At night, he would tilt his head close and hum, hesitant, low melodies he had not sung since his youth. Recovery was fragile. Twice, Harrow was certain the bird would not survive until morning. Yet each time, it clung to life. By the third week, feathers had grown glossy and full, the legs steady, the hop confident. Soon, the bird was exploring the small room, trilling bright, halting notes as it beat its wings in short bursts. In late May, Harrow opened the window. At first, the bird only perched on the sill, glancing out at the apple tree beyond. Then one morning, without ceremony, it launched itself into the cool dawn air. Harrow stood at the window, his tea cooling in his hand, watching the young bird rise above the village roofs and vanish into the hedgerows. The house felt suddenly larger, quieter. But the silence did not last. The very next morning, as sunlight spilled over the green, a familiar sound cut through the air, a crisp, bright song outside his window. Perched on the sill was the same bird, chest puffed, head tilted. It sang a short refrain, then darted away. The pattern repeated. Every morning. Sometimes the visit lasted less than a minute, sometimes long enough for Harrow to mutter a greeting. The bird never lingered, never accepted food. It simply came, sang, and left. Word spread. The village children called him the Bird Man as they passed his gate. Shopkeepers noticed he smiled more readily, joined in conversations he once avoided. Now and then, he caught himself humming in the bread aisle. From a moment of simple compassion, a quiet, enduring bond had taken root. And every morning, just as the sun lifted above the rooftops of Greystone, the song returned, a reminder that even the smallest acts can echo through the seasons.